Good evening and welcome to an exciting episode of Apocalypse Cinema.
Yeah.
With me, as always, Cornbread.
That's what they call me?
How you doing, Cornbread? I see you got a little shirt. What is that, a Pac-Man?
Nah, it's a chain chomp.
Okay, a chain chomp.
Mario.
I don't know about Mario.
Time, ain't it? Original NES Mario?
I never played that. Sorry.
Sounds like a you problem.
I was I just wasn't into that console there. Let's see if we can get you a little more corn.
Yeah.
A little more corn.
A little more corn. Well, you don't want too much corn.
Not too much corn.
Bread.
That can upset you.
Nope, I don't like it.
Tonight we have Tommy Sigmon and
Hey.
How you doing, man? Good to see you. And Christopher Adams.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, and welcome to our crazy show, which
It's
is
kooky,
part
wild.
horror. It's comedy. It's wacky.
It's everything you want.
But we are, one thing is for sure, we are cinephiles. We love cinema. We love spreading the word about cinema. We love learning more about cinema, both old and new.
It even been said to love cinema too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you like to bed down with cinema sometimes.
You do what you gotta do what you gotta do.
That's right.
That's all I gotta say about that. No more comments on that.
Okay, all right. Well, let's move on, yeah. So I met Tommy at a show at the Davis Theater where you guys were showing A Paradigm Gray. That is, what do you call that? It was a four-part cinema.
Five part.
Five parts.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
5-part black sci-fi horror fantasy anthology film.
Anthology is the word
Yeah.
I was trying to come up with. Okay, great. Tommy, you directed the first one, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I wrote and directed Outer Layers, and actually wrote Chris's segment as well.
Okay.
Although they took the two scripts and kind of combined them, and then also did a bunch of new things as well. So, but it was Chris's story, and I initially put it to paper form. So, yeah.
Yeah. First of all, so overall, it was very cool. A really cool presenter. The special effects are just amazing.
Oh yeah, wonderful.
Just fantastic. And I like the guy with the weird face. That is I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Our twisted version of a Rod Serling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And the Crypt Keeper, I guess it would be kind of the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
So, Paradigm Gray. Explain the name, if you would. The concept behind Paradigm Gray.
Really, the name just came out of. So I'm a fan of like Japanese anime, and they always have really cool names like Geno Cyber and what was another good one? Tetsuo the Iron.
Oh, hell yeah!
Yeah.
So they just have these weird names that always sound cool, don't necessarily mean anything. And I was also a fan of Black Mirror. I was like, Black Mirror would have been a perfect name for us because we're black sci-fi kind of thing.
Right.
And I also thought about how we're really just trying to change the paradigm in terms of African Americans representation in genre films. So I thought Paradigm Gray. Yeah, okay, that works.
Very cool.
Yes.
It's a great name, and we're both big anime fans here also.
Oh yeah.
We're loving it all. A lot of, there's so many subgenres. I like the really, mostly the gory stuff, but
You like the steampunk anime?
All right. Give me a break on the steampunk. I like the futuristic stuff.
The cyberpunk.
The cyberpunk, yes, I love cyberpunk.
Yeah, very cyber.
Ghost in the Shell, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I saw a lot of science fiction influence in your pictures. One thing I wanted to start off with, Tommy, your Outer Layers, like an onion, I guess. Outer Layers. It's a great title. It's definitely there's definitely a great sense of humor in this one. I mean, we had the audience going because, and I think, again,
Yeah.
the audience really really appreciated it. So it's basically a concept. It's a really great concept that challenges the way you think about race and about society, and basically, so the main character's name was what again, Tommy?
Everett Waters Jr.
Everett
Yeah.
Porter Jr. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So he's trying to make it in life, going for a job interview. I don't want to give it away, but the concept is trying to get the girl in the bar, blah, blah, blah. So, and he's coming up against a lot of hurdles, even though he's well qualified and talented and all this. So there's the old magic pill, which I always love the magic pill thing. I love the giant pill.
I mean, I didn't want to make it too complicated, where because then that would have been like some production design issues, because we didn't really have, we had no budget, so I was just trying to keep stuff as simple as possible, so that unfortunately, like when you're not working with money, you got to kind of do things kind of simply, and
like
even the ideas,
whatever you have,
yeah, and the simple idea of taking a pill was inexpensive, and everybody kind of understands that.
Oh yeah, ever since the Matrix,
yeah. So it was just kind of like, let's do that. And,
that was better. I think that was a good choice, because you could have gone to some weird voodoo ceremony,
or even like Freaky Friday,
Magic. But I like the pill choice, because it's a physical thing, and then the giant one represented the one that lasts forever, and so there's life choices. It's like lifetime choices. Are you going to make that commitment? And
we had to have a lot of. I mean, there was a lot of techno, like that was having the pill. I mean, even though it's simple, like I kind of had to come with like a bunch of pseudo-scientific jargon about nanotechnology and that type of stuff.
Isn't it?
So it does end up being complicated, but at the same time, it's still, it can kind of be plausible, like as long as you don't think about it too hard, it's plausible. It sounds plausible enough.
Exactly.
And you end up, and then you can kind of just get on with the story, because we only got so much time, because these things are so short.
Yes.
We only got like 15, 20 minutes. So we got to kind of keep the story kind of moving along and stuff. So
and I thought
it made it fun.
It did, and when the guy wakes up after the transition.
Are we doing
that's
spoilers,
hilarious,
Chris? Should we do spoilers, or should we keep things under wraps, or?
I mean, well, you can explain the basic concept, but we don't
because there's a lot in addition to that, with the relationships and what the concept, but I just I mean, it's the overall concept of actually turning.
Well, I think it plays into I feel a lot of people in the Black community tend to think, if you're white, everything's easier. And that's not true. But we kind of play into those stereotypes in a sense.
Oh,
yeah.
So, in a nutshell, basically, it's a character that's given an opportunity to become a white person via this peel. And we get to see the ramifications of that.
Yeah, because really, the him turning into that is really a symptom of the problems in their own family. Because that's what it's really. It's
a family.
Their family is disintegrated.
Exactly.
Basically, before the movies even started, and then this just kind of exacerbates the family disintegration, like into the family's just like obliterated. I mean, because this is like. Although we're sci-fi, we're leaning into that Twilight Zone thing, where kind of things are usually like kind of bad at the end of a Twilight Zone episode. More soft than when it started.
Yeah.
so I wanted to kind of keep it where it would be, it would be bad at the end, and then this whole thing just adds a whole another layer to what's going on with their family and stuff, and it just really complicates, and it really is the seed to that whole thing kind of being obliterated. So
when you were doing the casting, I mean, you had to be thinking of, all right, here's the same guy, but he's just white. And so I thought it was very funny. I mean, the way the guy he's talking when he wakes up is really the funniest part for me. He's just like, I'm white. Oh,
yeah.
I'm white. That was that was just a great, great take on it.
And I was very, I wasn't sure if any of that was going to work.
Oh, it worked great.
I was very scared, like, because I didn't know how people were going to take, because the movie kind of starts off serious, and then it kind of gets funny, and then it gets really dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I didn't know how people would kind of take that kind of like tone shifting. But I think I tried to have them kind of still play realistic. Like, I didn't want it to become like over the top as far as like their acting and stuff like that. You still want to play it serious, but at the same time, if somebody's given that freedom, they would, what is he going to do? He's going to go back and get all the stuff that he couldn't get before.
Yes.
So I think it's funny that way. It's not funny because he's acting silly. It's funny because that's what everybody would do.
And it does get, and it does get serious.
It's not played like I like that it's not played like a Key and Peele skit.
No.
It's serious. It's just circumstances. It's like, I would do that, like you say.
Right.
So,
we wanted it's still played straight, but it because it wouldn't have worked if we would have tried to make it funny.
Right. That would have lost its impact, especially after, the guy wakes up in bed next to the girl and she's like, very, nasty. And it's like, that's where, like turns, it's like, oh, there's the reality of it, right?
Right. Exactly. It would really be, I tried to imagine what it would really, even though it's science fiction, you still got to kind of play it real.
Yeah.
Oh.
You have to pump up the well, let's see, which one was that? Was that a Twilight Zone, the Twilight Zone movie, where the guy gets his head cut off?
Yeah, that's Twilight Zone movie.
That was Twilight Zone movie. I can't remember what's the actor's name?
I can't remember.
Oh, darn it. Anyway, he's...
which you talking about the movie? Which segment are you talking about?
The Vietnam Holocaust, Vic Morrow. Yeah. That was like that, where he was just a total racist, and and just so they give him, to Twilight Zone gives him what he deserves. He didn't expect to get his head cut off by the helicopter, but ouch.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, that was pretty bad. That whole accident was terrible.
But he played it. There was no real laughs in that one. That was like so well done and serious. So I wanted to know a little more about the whole conglomerate or the group that you guys are. Your whole group.
The team.
The team.
So let's start. I'll start with the genesis of the project.
Yeah.
So, one day I was at a cafe with a filmmaker friend of mine, and we were just shooting the breeze, and we were kind of complaining about the types of jobs we were getting as filmmakers, because a lot of us we might do industrial videos, music videos, combination of things, and we were really frustrated at the lack of creativity our clients were really letting us or not letting us have. So as I was talking, a couple other filmmaker buddies of mine just happened to call. One was in town. He lives way out, and I was like, hey, I'm at this cafe. So I ended up at a table with about 6 or so filmmakers. And I'm looking around. We all got the same complaints. And I took out a piece of paper and I said, write down a loose equipment list, just as quick as you can.
Like what you have.
And at the end, I was like, you know what we got here? We have a studio. We have everything. Some stuff in duplicate and triplicate. We have everything to make movies.
Cool.
So then they were like, well, but actors and stuff like that. So I think earlier that year or year before that, I did a short film film for Mark Harris's Inglewood Film Festival. Every year he would ask me to put something in, and I only had client stuff. And so this particular year, it was like 7 days before the festival, and he asked me, and I was like, well, I don't really have anything. But my partner, Hannah Black Mitchell, she was like, we've turned around music videos in 24 hours for MTV. We got 7 days. We can do something.
Awesome.
So I built props, built a CGI creature for this short called EXO. We finished rendering it 30 minutes before it was supposed to show.
Oh
Wow.
And after we showed it, like amazed that we did this, because in indie films, especially Black indie films, you don't see sci-fi, you don't see CGI creatures.
That's true.
You don't see, this kind of stuff, And so what happened is after the screening, it was only supposed to screen that once. And after the screening, people were like, whoa, okay, we need to know about this, and how can we be a part of it? So I had all these actors and actresses come up to me and like, yeah, if this is what you're doing, I want to be part of it.
Cool.
And what we found, overwhelmingly, the parts for a lot of Black actors and actresses fall into the gang banger, drug addict, prostitute, just the worst of the worst stereotypical role.
Right, and like Tommy
So,
was saying, it was like the first guy to die.
Right.
Was that something?
So a year later, a year later at this cafe, I randomly called up like 3 actors, and I was like, I don't have any money, and I'm doing it. And before I could even finish, they were like, I'm in. So I'm like, okay, we got people willing to be in it, so we just need to figure out what it is. So there's a Stan Winston quote that goes, managing artists is like herding cats. And so I was thinking, I'm like, okay, I've got all these creative filmmakers, who have very distinct styles, and we all got a little chip on our shoulder. We've been in the game, some like myself, 30 years, others, 10 plus. So I'm like, how do I leverage everyone's strength on a single project? And then it hit me, Black Mirror. I was like, okay, everybody needs to watch Black Mirror before we do anything. We're going to do an anthology. Everybody's responsible for their own story. And we just share this pool of equipment and talent. And, I'll produce it, and we'll just do it that way. And it worked out. So, everybody, got to the grindstone. And it was funny because most of us, a lot of us were full-time, filmmakers, videographers, et cetera. And one of the guys, Dave Johnson, I'm trying to think if he was working for the Federal Reserve. I don't know. He was working for some government agency. He's got like kids. He's got like traditional family life, everything. And he beat everybody. He finished first. And he's the one that he did Bloodlines. And he kind of made us all look bad. It's like, wait a minute, we do this day to day, and he beat us. And it was fantastic. And it was shot by Patrick Charles, who's an excellent cinematographer. He's worked on Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, and a whole host of
right. Nice.
So it was just like, whoa, how did he finish before everybody? I mean, I think he was done in like a month or something. It was crazy. And so we put it together, and it wasn't without its hiccups. I ended up having a break-in at my house, and hard drives were stolen amongst camera gear. So I had to like literally start from scratch. One of the brothers in our group, Daryl Rice, was such a blessing. He had camera gear. He was like, look, here, come get anything you need. Because at that point, I really didn't have anything to feed myself or my family. My gear was gone.
Yeah,
so,
man.
So we had to regroup, and we thought we had lost Outer Layers because that was on one of the drives. And then luckily, one of my clients I had loaned her a drive, and it had footage.
Oh, wow, really?
Gosh.
Oh,
and
thank
we
you.
didn't have to keep that one. It was crazy. We went through so much stuff, and then like Reset. We'll get to Reset, but that's the genesis of the project.
And it works well. I like the variety is really great.
Yeah.
What's your take on it, Cornbread?
I think
Because we haven't talked about it since you've watched it.
Oh yeah. Well, I wasn't expecting an anthology when I was going into it. I really wish we could have seen more of that, the like Crypt Keeper character. That's just something I always see in all these movies.
I did love that.
Yeah.
The interstitials.
You see him set himself up like through this whole crazy way, and he's just this omnipotent being. But
yes.
I just love how I just love whenever I see like an anthology movie because so many people are collaborating together to make something great, and that's like you don't see that too often where everybody can kind of put their own little bit of a twist and like put their own signature style on something at the same time as when you're collaborating. Like all films are big collaborations, but I like seeing each person's voice in these different stories.
Exactly, and I think it was a really great showcase to really push forth your concept of the black filmmakers showing. Because I had no idea. I was like, oh wow, and then there's, and then we discover like these great black filmmakers doing all this cool stuff. They got these great special effects, and I just was surprised that like being into sci-fi and horror, I was like, awesome. Let's see more. Let's see more. We want it.
Yeah, I want more.
We want the unique voice, unique voices.
People don't realize that blacks, we contribute greatly to the Marvel box offices, to the Star Wars box office, to all the horror stuff. I remember going to Evergreen Plaza and it's full of black people, and we were doing the body count every time Freddy or is killing someone. And how many was that? I mean, we love this stuff too, but we're just not represented in it. And so and one of the straws that broke the camel's back for me was the trailer for the movie Life with Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
The black guy dies in the trailer.
Oh man.
And I was just like, I was like, wait a minute, did they just killed the black guy in the trailer?
Even in space, they kill the black guy.
Yeah, that was like I was overwhelmed. Like, okay, I need to do something about this.
That's right. Right. Was there something that you guys came up with that was like the black guy dies first, or was that the concept of one of the? Because that sounds like a concept for. I mean, you've seen the what's it, Scary Movie or 1 or 2, where they kind of just make a joke about it. It's like, well, he's going to die first, So
yeah. I mean, there's so many different ways to tackle that too. I mean, you can make a movie with all black people in it, like who dies first,
Right.
Everybody died at the same time, right?
That's right,
but we did a short actually for a 50s. We do shorts for these 50s trailers competitions that are here. The same people through the Sci-Fi Spectacular, they do a 50s trailer competition, and we actually have a short. We did a 50s trailer short called. The Black Dude Lives.
That's what I was thinking about.
Very subject, but it's set because the trailers have to be 50s style.
Cool.
And I'll send it to you guys, so you can check it out. But it deals with, it's a fake trailer, like to a fake movie, but it deals with the fact that the black dude, well, you guys will see it
awesome.
It kind of deals with that subject in a funny way.
Trope.
Yeah.
But I think it's just become it's just another character. This is another character. You want to make George Romero, Night of the Living Dead, Dwayne Johnson, I believe.
God bless George Romero.
I mean,
God bless George Romero.
What a great film. He was perfectly cast in it and did a great job. Of course, it ends badly, but it's a zombie world.
Can't expect too good,
But no, it was great, and so I think he really, with that movie, he just blasted a lot of doors down. But eating guts and naked zombies, whatever. It was amazing. So it's, and plus it was what is Judith Day, I think, or O'Day, or she was the female actress, and he was the guy that had it all together. And so it just shows you like there's no reason not to have just characters. It's like, okay, whatever you are, you're just a character. You're strong, you're weak, you're a leader, you're not, you're a follower. Whatever, just don't insult our intelligence. Just show us people and characters, and give them an arc.
Authentic.
Yeah, that's all it need. Yeah, that's all we need to see, man. Like people, like both Dawn of the Dead's, like the lead basically is a black dude. Like,
right? Yeah, Ving Rhames.
Dawn of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, the lead's a black guy.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Or him and the white guy are like partners. It's not. They're both cool. Like,
that's right.
And and John Carpenter too. Like Carpenter, another person, God bless him, because he would let the black people in his movies be equal to the white characters and stuff like
Keith
that.
David,
So
right, Keith David, love Keith David.
Kind of the badass of all those movies.
Yeah,
They Live and The Thing are two of my favorite films.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
But even before that, Chris, though, Assault on Precinct 13, the lead of that movie,
that's true.
is the black guy.
That's true.
That's the black guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I didn't see that one until later.
I didn't either. Actually, I think I saw that first.
I always lean more towards sci-fi and horror, so those were on my list. Like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. The black guys, Carpenter, he which you got to give him credit, man.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Especially being more independent, oriented.
Yeah.
But they did. I mean, The Thing is like, come on.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest movies
black guy
ever.
lives to the end. Like, actually, both black characters make it to the end of the movie. I mean, one of them dies, but
Keith David in The Thing and They Live.
Yeah. He made it to the end.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's great, man. So it's when you got filmmakers like that. Like, again, I mean, Carpenter at the time could probably only do so much, but at least he's doing something. At least George Romero's doing something. Like, at least he's like I'm pretty sure they can't. Just because of the powers that be.
Right.
Like, they have to kind of roll with ultimately the white guy's the hero, but at least they're
don't
trying.
Yeah, and they don't make a big thing about it. It's just another character. The thing that I really hate is in a movies that make it a big deal. Like, it's like they're just doing diversity for diversity's sake. I don't think of an Asian person or a black, and then it's like it becomes obvious, and then you're just like, these characters are pushed on you. And it's like, no, just show a character. I don't care who they are.
Yeah.
It's not genuine. Yeah.
Just like the difference between Lando Calrissian, who just happened to be black.
Oh yeah.
He's cool. But he's not. It's not forced diversity. He's just like he just happens to be a black dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's
with
written.
The new Star Wars with Finn, it feels a little bit more forced.
It does. It definitely does. I'm glad you said that, because I do think
the film that introduced us, to Boyega, Attack the Block, I thought was an excellent.
They did that right.
It was black, it was urban without being stereotypical. I like how the character he starts off you thinking he's one thing, and then as he goes on, you see. That he's this kid who's basically taking care of his siblings and, living in a project by himself. And he's very smart and real respected.
Yeah.
Attack
the Block did it right. You're right about that. Yeah. Attack the Block gets it right.
Huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Attack the Block? No.
I have not seen it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You guys got to see it.
We do?
Yeah, you got to see it.
Okay. Attack the Block.
It's going on the top of my list.
Write that one down.
That's the film that put, what's the director? Joe, was it Joe Cornish? What's his name?
Joe. Yeah, I think his name's Cornish. Yeah, last name. Yeah, Cornish. I believe it's Cornish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah, he's really good. But yeah, they. I mean, it's set in a project, so like.
Oh, gotcha.
A lot of the characters, it was England projects, so it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically if an alien invasion happened in the projects.
I like it.
It's really cool in that respect.
Yeah. That's and now,
great.
of course, you guys got good timing. Jordan Peele, you can kind of get in on that. Jordan, what do you guys think of Jordan Peele and his Us and?
I like Jordan Peele. I'm not gonna get into. I like he has a lot of the sensibilities that I think a lot of people in our group have, and he's definitely opened doors for us. Like as we talk and get into negotiations, like when we first released Paradigm, where we landed squarely between Get Out and Black Panther, so it was like perfect.
Yeah.
And so once again, now we're like around Us. So it's he's good for what we're trying to do.
Good.
I wish him nothing but the best. I'm excited to see what he's going to do. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be like an M. Night Shyamalan, stuff I like most of the stuff, but I think he's an auteur that's you know, been given a great opportunity to really kind of show his vision. So, and I think it's just going to get better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We definitely, I mean, we don't know him, of course, but we support him, man. And I think I like Us a little bit better than Chris did, but it, you know, whether you like a movie or not, we still support him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We support him, and we want to see him do.
I did notice one.
Well, I support for anybody that's trying to do something different.
Yes,
also, especially black film. We get so stuck in comedies, the urban gang dramas, and you know the I hate men romance kind of things.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, I'm like, you know, I just want to show equal representation.
Yeah.
I want to send home.
Yeah, just not kind of.
I want to do
something cool.
I'm sick of the slave narrative. You know,
yeah,
like, okay, I get it. That was a small part of our history in this country and in the world. I mean, but you know, there's thousands and thousands of years where, you know, blacks ruled everything. Like, I always thought it was suspicious in the old Columbus movies. They always talked about how the Moors ran everything, but they never would show the Moors.
That's
you know,
true.
Like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, the Moors were blacks.
Yeah.
They were blacks and that, you know, kind of ruled the oceans and things, you know.
That's
It's amazing how, you know, certain things have selectively been kind of omitted from those movies.
Sure, let's move forward and, you know, do some cool new ideas. For me, it's characters, you know.
Right.
It's a character is a character, you know. Just tell me. Like Othello, right? That's Shakespeare's Moore's story. It's all about the. It's all about character.
We can't. Yeah, I mean, even though us being black, like we still got to bring, like, being black goes up to a certain point, and then it has to be about other things besides that. Yeah. So I mean, although that is going to be important, us being black, but it's just one part of what we're trying to do, and it can inform what we do, but we still got to bring it on the story level and character level and that you know, we just can't be like, we're black and, you know.
Right. No, we gotta have good work. You know, we gotta have great stories, great characters. If you don't feel for the characters, I don't care how many special effects, whatever you got. I mean, we've all seen the $100+ million blockbuster films that don't have an inch of soul in them. You know, you can't remember what you saw 30 minutes afterwards. You know, like my company's name is Impact Studio, and you know, I chose that name because I want, when people finish watching something that I've worked on or created, it lingers in their subconscious. And they're like, whoa. And, you know, I wanted to create the types of works that have discussions, that people have discussions about. And that's one thing, like, with us, you know, if you liked it or not, there were these very deep conversations that they sparked, you know, and I really like that, because that means it's more than just this glossy thing, you know. It has a tangible thing that makes you go, okay. It makes you rethink things, and, you know, or put yourselves in that position. And I hope we did that with, you know, those the characters and the stories in Paradigm Gray.
Yeah. Oh, you did that. Each one, that's another thing I loved about your film. It's just all of these stories packed so much, like, different themes and had so much depth to them, even though they were just so short. And I love the worlds that you guys built up. It was a great experience.
Cornbread is a Columbia College student now.
Yep.
You doing screenwriting? You're in the film department there, right?
Yeah. I write.
Oh, cool.
So he's
great.
He's going to write some stuff.
I have written some stuff. Yeah,
you should come down to one of I'm part of a group called the Chicago Screenwriters Network. So if you guys ever feel like coming to a meeting, let me know.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah. We have some really cool. We've been doing a lot of activity-based meetings too. So this past week, 2 weeks ago, we had our actor-writer meetup performances where we had the writers from our group write scenes for actors to perform.
Oh, that's great.
And and they did. And then we got a lot of,
because the writers want to see their characters come alive and test them out. That's a great idea.
Great exercise.
Which brings us.
I definitely want to touch on the actors that came out, and I mean, for us having like super minimal to zero budget. You know, they brought their A plus 120% gain.
Yeah.
You know,
that they
everyone
did.
like Harold Dennis, like Harold set on Reset, and we worked on that character and understanding what that character is going through a lot. Like I brought in my cousin who was a 20 plus year veteran, and he did countless missions in Afghanistan. He's got PTSD. We had him train Harold in weapons handling.
Oh, wow.
Because one of the things that I want, you know, when you see someone, especially in Reset, the character is a soldier, he needs to look like a soldier. He needs to move like a soldier.
Yeah.
So we had him training, and it was funny because before we brought him in, we had shot a test reel with Harold in full wardrobe and everything. Yeah. And his arms are flailing as he's running around with his gun. And totally unreal. But after like 3 weeks with my cousin Jason, man, he looked like special forces. Yeah. You know, but it wasn't just the weapons handling. He also talked about his missions and the things that gave him PTSD that Harold's character could play off of, because essentially Harold's character has that without giving away too much. He has an extreme version of PTSD. Oh, man. And so you were able to pull those together, and Reset is really kind of a love story. You know, a lot of people are like, you know, because he's got this mission. He wants to complete his mission and get back to his wife. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's his thing. I need to get back to my wife. You know, and so like some of the references, film references I gave Harold was Tom Hanks' performance in Castaway. Mm-hmm. You know, because I mean, it was Tom Hanks and the Wilson Wilson soccer ball. Yeah, you know, and Harold is pretty much the only, you know, it's him versus this machine. Yeah, you know, and it's also Reset is also a story on purpose. You know, like if you don't fulfill your purpose, do you need to exist? If you don't have a purpose, true, you know, and what will you go through to maintain that purpose and to fulfill your purpose? So yeah, you know, we got some philosophical things going on in there too. But
I love the uniform that he had. It just looked like that was totally custom made. I mean, it wasn't just a couple of shoulder pads and stuff like that. It was great. It was really good.
Thank you. Yeah, so I created the weapons, the armor, body armor. Wow. I basically kit bashed everything, including his opponent, which is a robot with a rough 6 foot tall robot prop. He's basically a giant kit bashed puppet that I created from a bunch of junk I had collected over several months. Everybody thought I had become a hoarder. I had a room in my house. I would find some interesting like containers of things that people would throw away in boxes and stuff, and I just started amassing this stuff because I'm like, I'm gonna build this robot, you know, because it's interesting. Because like I've been given an award of excellence in computer graphics from Evans and Sutherland.
Oh, nice.
For work we've done, but I wanted my actor to deal with a real thing, and so I remember sending Dave Johnson the script for Reset. He was like, "Okay, I want to see how you're gonna do this with no money." You know,
I know it's right. So if I
could add too, Chris, I want to say I'm glad you did the robot reel, because I mean I know you could have did it with computers, but I think it would have been
the practical is better.
I think just the technical difficulties of trying to render a computer generated robot for the budget we had, which was nothing, would have been kind of difficult. And I think you really circumvented a lot of problems.
I did it more. I did it more. One, I'm a firm believer if you can shoot it in camera, do it. Yeah. But also just have something real for the actor to react.
Yeah.
He sees his enemy. He's not looking at a tennis ball trying to imagine something, you know. So
I mean, the real robot, the robot looked really good, man. It didn't look fake. You know what I mean? Like because I know sometimes CG can. Yeah. If you don't do it right.
We're big fans. We're big fans of practical effects. The
robot looked really good.
Yeah, that droid was amazing.
It looked really cool, and it just added to the movie. It's one less thing that somebody could complain about. You know,
one less thing that might take someone out.
The probe and the location.
Location was amazing.
Location was awesome.
Trying to find location.
Yeah, where the heck is that?
I originally wanted to shoot. wanted to shoot it at this abandoned factory in the south suburbs.
Yeah.
And so I went to the I think I'm trying to remember if it was Harvey or what. It was either Harvey or Dixmoor. I know you cross the street and you're in a whole nother city. And I went and met with the city and their council people, whatever, and because I want to do it legit because my character is a black guy with a very large weapon. So gorillas, like trying to explain that to cops, so
right.
And they didn't want me to do it there, and I was like pissed. I'm like, oh, it's so perfect. And then it was a couple other spots. The bakery building on 55th and Garfield. The university now runs that with the Astor Gates. They've turned it into a data center. And then Tommy called me, was like, there's this building you need to come look at. And we went there, and I was just like, oh my God, this is perfect.
Yeah, it's weird too because
that building is gone now, Tommy.
But it's right in the middle of the city. It's right on 60, like 3rd and like Morgan. But on the inside of it, it looks like Bosnia.
Yeah, exactly. Because my reference photos, I used reference photos when I was working on the script. Aleppo after all the bombing, Syria, and so I was like, that's what I need my environment to look like. And people were like, how the hell are you going to find?
I know.
And,
good.
The place, and I was able to cut drone footage from Aleppo with that footage, and you just think he's there. I mean, it became its own character. You couldn't buy. It would take millions of dollars to get that kind of production value in a fake set.
No doubt. I did that actually when I was at Columbia College many moons ago. We did it guerrilla style. I did a post-apocalyptic movie called Mutants. And so these guys come back and mutants are attacking them. And I needed that post-apocalyptic look. And of course we did it guerrilla. We didn't ask anyone's permission. Right. But it was funny because the guy who owned the land came by. And then we just told him we were students, and he was like, "Oh, this is cool." Yeah, he was a Swedish guy. It's like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, this is interesting." Okay, so luckily, that can work out sometimes. I like the guerrilla style, but I can see what you're saying. You gotta sometimes you really gotta check it out beforehand.
And then I ended up bringing a buddy into the location to check for structural integrity and things. He went in, and he also did an asbestos check.
That's
true.
That was good.
Yeah, so we found out that there was, but whoever had closed the building, they had put this chemical that they put over and everything. And so he basically was like, we would have to be in there like 9-10 months for it to be effective. Yeah. And so I informed Harold. I was like, look, if I got to rewrite this thing and we're in the woods somewhere, that's what we're going to do. He's like, nope. So I ended up incorporating a special forces face mask,
right.
A small thing, and actually make that part of the story too.
Yeah.
So smart. And so we kind of see where he gets that from, and so his time was minimal with that, and we were in there with our face masks on and things. So
little to no exposure. But that's great.
Harold Dennis was such a trooper.
Absolutely, and so now that really transitions right into one of our sponsors.
Oh yeah, one of our great sponsors.
One of our great sponsors. They give us millions of pennies. They throw them at us, actually, right?
They prefer to put them in a sock and hit me over the head with them.
Yeah,
I don't like it, but
that happens. I told them to do that. So this is a great software. It's called What-Is-X. What-Is-X? 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 And it's an app that does basically everything. And it come out with new things every month. I don't know, whatever.
Week. They're always making new features on What-Is-X. It's a subscription-based app that just
does everything.
Does everything imaginable.
This year, or this month's special is has to do with screenwriting, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
I might have to get on this. What is it?
Yeah, well, what this does is you just enter. You don't even. It's got the brain transplant. Remember, we had a little thing before where you used the brain transplant. Mm-hmm. So as long as you got that in your brain, we might as well use this.
Yeah.
Right. So you think of a plot, right? You think of how much you want to make at the box office. domestic and gross
International?
and international. You can
Okay.
add that in. We're working on the Japan model right now. They're having a little problem with that, but you just come up with the idea. You don't even have to write one word, and then it actually renders it out and into a file. And, you can distribute it. Of course, What Is X is going to take 15 points off the top. But whatever.
That is so worth it. If you're making millions, I'm fine with what is. It's taking 50% off the top.
Well, don't tell them that. They will take 50% off.
Taking 50% off.
Oh, that's
what they
funny.
give us.
So get it today. Use our coupon code 83482296555.
For 13.3% off.
And $29.99, and you can get another one just for the extra shipping charge of $79.87.
That is the biggest deal this month.
Okay, thank you. What is it?
Sure.
What is X? What is X? What is X? What is X? And now back to the show. So you think that's a good thing that What is X? That would be an awesome app.
It is an
I'll tell
awesome
you.
app.
It is an awesome app, yeah.
It's a great app.
So what is next for Impact Studio, Paradigm Gray, the team, the legends?
So we're currently exploring several options. So the goal is to do it as either a series or a series of films. We feel it's a very good launch platform because we could easily take any of the stories in Paradigm Gray and develop them into their own full features or series as well.
Yes.
So that we're looking at, and we're looking at either partnering with someone to help us do that. We've been in talks on and off for the last couple of years with a couple different streaming services. Some of them get it, some of them don't. Some of them, kind of go with the flow of whatever's hot at the moment. So that's been interesting dealing with that space.
Like Netflix or Hulu or the streaming services?
Well, without,
I don't know if you want
people
to
don't like to talk. I don't like to talk to specifics on who I've spoken to, but it's pretty much most of the major players we've been in communication with at one point or another over the last couple of years. And so we're exploring some traditional and non-traditional distribution methods as well. There might be a limited nationwide theatrical run coming up, so we're working on that. I'm also prepping a new film, which is what would you call The Hate? A social political horror thriller, I think.
Sounds good.
It's definitely. Chris came to me with a story. I can't talk about it too much. We'll keep it kind of
sure
a little vague.
Yeah.
but he came to me about this. He came to me with this story about it really does deal with the ills that are kind of plaguing our community. And so it's got this horror element, but it's also got this kind of socio-political element. And then it's kind of like mixing those kind of things in together, which is really interesting about this black horror that we're doing. Is like, it's just such a wild, wild west, because a lot of stuff that we'll be doing just by adding in this tinge of blackness, like just gives it a different spin. Like
Absolutely.
on stories that you've already seen.
Mm-hmm.
And it does feel like the Wild Wild West, because it just feels like, wow, how come, I mean, I'm like, how come people haven't been doing this? Like, how come black filmmakers haven't been embracing, this genre, just, there's so much stuff that we can do. I mean, and even in this arena that we're going to be in, which will be low, I think we'll have a little bit more money for this one, but it's still low budget. But there's just so much you can comment on, man, and it's really exciting. Like, it's just so many concepts that I have, that Chris has, and everybody has. It's exciting.
Yeah, that's great.
Do this stuff, man.
Yeah,
it's
we're
really
both
cool.
excited about
I
it.
think it's a perfect storm of technology, distribution, the whole digital everything. I think a lot of people think, especially black filmmakers, think that some of these wilder ideas require millions of dollars, and that's not the case. We're able to do world building on a substantially, low budget. Just by being smart. My company has always embraced all the digital tools. So we saw this stuff coming. And have been at the forefront. Doing stuff. They were like, oh, you can't do green screen with mini DV. You can't do green screen with this. And, I've seen so many shifts in the industry, and we've just been riding the wave and embracing all these new technologies.
Yeah, the tools are amazing.
Yeah, and one more thing too is that again, even though like we made Paradigm for nothing, and I think it looks great, and the film looks great. We did have limitations because of budget, and so sometimes you can see us kind of bouncing up against those limitations. But I think people would get behind somebody like us that's an underdog that they see is doing work for nothing than some of these bigger, like with us, we kind of have an excuse because we didn't have $20 million to make this film. Mm-hmm. But if if you were in a position like some of these filmmakers that have these big giant budgets, and then they make these movies and they're not good, or they're not. When you have money like that, you really don't have any excuse. We kind of do have an excuse because we didn't have budget, but when you graduate to those big budgets, like you shouldn't have an excuse to because then it's all about story because you've got all the resources.
That's right.
So it's kind of fun. Like, oh, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Even with bigger budgets, like if I see 20 million, I'm thinking that's 20 movies. That's just where my mind thinks. My mind said I'm very like Robert Rodriguez, Troublemaker Studios. Like, okay, invest in the gear. That's the other thing is we own all our gear, so we don't have to rent anything.
Yeah.
Battle. There's lenses and things I want to get. There's definitely always an upgrade path, more computing power.
Oh, always.
Because these huge files, they start slowing.
Always more hard drives.
Being exactly more hard drives. Never have enough hard drives.
Never.
But just definitely being able, it helps to feed your cast. Pay your cast, feed them.
Makes them happy.
Yeah.
So even with a bigger budget, I'm still going to be very frugal. That's just my nature.
I agree. Like I think I like staying. I want to stay in this low budget arena. Like it'd be nice to get to like a nice medium budget. But if we could still stay kind of like grindhousey, like Larry Cohen, what I mean? Like a pull up by your bootstraps type of filmmaking as opposed to the glossy.
Well, I think that's a good possibility here is that you become kind of, you get like a studio system of your own. You've got a bunch of collaborators that are reliable and you can kind of call on. And then that means you got a really great resource. And as you work together on more projects, you're just going to develop as a team. And I really can't wait to see what you guys do next and keep us. We've got another guy.
Matter of fact,
yes, sir.
Matter of fact, so like someone that came to our very first screening of Paradigm Gray, we had a Q&A afterwards, and the thing that stuck in their head was we did this with no money, and they're sitting in a packed theater, and they were like, they did this with no money. So that's who contacted me about the next project.
Cool.
He's like, whoa, I can get X amount of money. Can you do something with that? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So and I want to, and so, I'm pulling in, people that worked on the various shorts for this. It's like, okay, we have a team. Paradigm Gray was kind of a litmus test,
that's right.
See what we could do.
Keep the machine rolling.
It worked. So we just want to continue that, And, if we can make these products at a substantially less budget where they can get a high return on investment, then that works.
Yeah.
Like most of Robert Rodriguez's films make their movie back, including marketing, in the theater, which is unheard of.
That's true.
Even like the Blumhouse model.
Yes.
They're not overspending.
No.
They're not overspending.
Yeah, they did a great job of maximizing. So awesome. You've been listening to Apocalypse Cinema. We've had Tommy Sigmon and Mr. Christopher on, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Adams.
Adams. I did not have that. Tommy, you got to cut in there. Christopher Adams.
Chris is well, I'd like to say too, like Chris is I think we've done a good job too of being because sometimes there can be too many cooks in the kitchen. Although we all feel like we are on separate entities. On this, Chris is our leader, and I always think it's important to defer to him because he came up with the concept. Of doing this together, and then we all kind of came together because of that. So we always defer to him as the and I think it's important because we need to. Everybody can't be leader. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you need
the face. And I try to drop. I drop my ego, man. I don't. Chris is our leader, and we have to defer to him. I think it's important that we defer.
Well, I think it also. Yeah. I respect all the people that are part of Paradigm Grace so much, and I lose sleep trying to make sure I make the right decisions because I want to build this playground for these super talented creative people that I've known for over 10 years, and I don't make any decisions out of desperation. If I could have sold them, we could have sold the movie a long time ago, but what they were offering wasn't worth what we were putting together, and everybody trusts the big vision, and that's important, But I love all these guys. I love this team, and I just want to see us. I'm like, imagine us with Star Wars budget. It's insane.
Yeah,
we could change the industry overnight.
Yeah.
I want to see it. So, hey, thanks guys for coming out. We are out of time, and but it was awesome. I met Tommy down at the Davis Theater, and I'm glad I did because we're doing lots of interviews on our show. Yeah.
Grateful that
show
movie again. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's a great theater too.
Yes,
they do
it's a beautiful thing.
They do a great job. All right, thanks again, guys. What did you want to push something?
We want to thank you guys for having us on the show, man. I really appreciate this because you guys didn't have to have us on here, and thank you for your support and liking the film.
Absolutely.
We're gonna do our best to improve and make the next thing even better. We'll try and keep going, but your continued support would be very valued.
Absolutely.
And we all love horror. That's what we have in common.
Oh,
so let's do it.
Big horror fans.
Yes.
And don't be nice. If we do something whack, let us know it's whack. That's how we're going to improve.
Yep.
I ask the creator every day, let me make new mistakes.
Yeah.
Right on.
Don't tell me right off though. Give me a couple weeks. let the movie be out for a couple weeks. Then you could come to me and be like, okay, it was terrible. Just give me 1 week.
Okay, I'll give you a little grace period. Sure, yeah. All right.
Real quick, if anyone wants to get any additional info, they can go to paradigmgray.com.
Paradigmgray.com.
We'll send out information on upcoming.
I'll put that up on the link, a link to our podcast. That information.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Let her hit us back.
Fantastic. All right, guys, we will see you later. And Cornbread, what do you have to say?
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. All right. Good night, guys. Great to have you.
Good night.
All right. Take it easy, guys.
Take it easy.
Bye.